You don't want any part of this.
What's going on, moviegoers? So if you're new to the channel, my name is Christian and welcome to Zero Productions. You guys, I got some good news. It's looking like some early reports are stating that we will be getting this Spider-Man Far From Home second trailer as early as next week. Now, there were big Endgame spoilers that were going to be put in this Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. So Sony's marketing team and Marvel Studios were kind of putting this second trailer on a halt. Like, wait until Endgame comes out because we don't want anything spoiled, for Endgame attached with the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. Which makes sense. They even created, the hashtag Don't Spoil Endgame. So, Marvel fans and Marvel Studios were, they were very serious about keeping, these huge secrets and, these spoilers off the web until people actually got to experience Endgame. And, I heard a couple days ago, some guy in Japan came out of a theater, said a spoiler, got his ass beat so bad he was put in the hospital. What are you thinking? Like, why would you go ahead and do that? Why would you put yourself in a situation like that? You know how much, excuse me, you know how much this movie means to people. And the fact that you're going to be that guy, that asshole who doesn't care and, take a beating of your life because you ruined a movie for a bunch of people. You put yourself, you literally dug your own grave by doing some shit like that. It's your own fault. Even I think that happened in Force Awakens too, opening weekend somewhere. Like somebody did that as well. Walked out of the theater and everybody was in the hallway. Oh, such and such Han Solo died. What? Went after him. Like, just don't do that. Just don't. Come on now. Don't be a dick. There's no point for that. No point at all. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. Sorry. I got my throat itches. I'm getting kind of sick. I just feel it. It's terrible. Yeah, I'm excited for the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. Obviously, I think that, with the amount of spoilers that were going to be put into this second trailer, they really had to wait until Endgame was done. So, I wonder what kind of spoilers they're going to have, really clarifying things with Spider-Man and his story in Spider-Man Far From Home. Obviously, the whole Tony Stark thing and, Iron Man dying, I feel like that is going to be put in the second trailer. Because I feel like Peter will also be grieving. Because that scene was so sad in Endgame when, he first saw Tony, and Tony first saw him when he came out of the portals, and he just hugged him. Like, that was just so real. Then at the end, when Tony was dying and Peter approached him, he was just crying. It was just so heartfelt. Like, Jesus Christ. It was crazy sad. So obviously, I feel like Peter will definitely be, grieving for Tony in some way in this film. And now he's not the only person who will. I'm pretty sure Happy will too as well, But I'm pretty excited to see, as far as the the Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio route. Like, maybe this will be more of a character trailer for him as well. Maybe more elementals we'll see. Because in a photo that they released, if you look very closely, Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio has a wedding ring on. I was like, holy shit. I was like, I didn't notice that. So I can't wait to see more of the backstory on his character and how deep in depth they get into, his personal life and what his motives are and things of that nature. Because Marvel Studios villains are not the same as they once were, like in 2008, 9, 10. They gradually have gotten better and better. You shouldn't only be worried about the hero's arc of the story, but you should also be worried and, have an important storytelling for the villain as well. Because without the villain, there's no hero. And that's just plain and simple. So I like the fact that Marvel Studios is really taking the time to give us much more depth into their villains and their antagonists of the film, because it makes it that much better. It really does. Look at Thanos. Fantastic. Killmonger. Like, you really have to dive deep into the villain and the antagonist of the film and have their motives be relatable and things of that nature. But I'm pretty thrilled to see what they're going to throw in this second trailer, you guys. Sometime early next week, so I have to guess Monday or Tuesday, probably Monday. But I can't wait to see Spider-Man Far From Home. Cannot wait. And also, I think Joe Russo explained some of the whole post-snap thing. So, You know how it was 5 years after the snap, and then he brought back everybody who was snapped prior to that. But sorry, the timeline didn't change. So those 5 years still went by. The people who got snapped just came back to that timeline. So people asking questions were like, "Well, what's going on with the timeline? Like, for the people who didn't get snapped, are they 5 years older than the people who did?" Yes, this is what he had to say. Yes, those people who was lucky to survive the snap are 5 years older than the people who just got back. Russo explained in a recent Q&A. The reason Spider-Man saw his friend again in high school at the end was simply because his friends were unfortunately also dusted. Spider-Man was, of course, there are people in his grade who didn't die, and they are probably already in college by now. So life went on, even after the snap. 5 years older. People graduated, people got jobs, they moved on. So that I find that to be pretty interesting to see what really happens with the story, like going into Far From Home, because it's pretty crazy that to think that 5 years went by, and all the people who got dusted are now back. So I want to know. We don't know if May got dusted or not. We just don't know. I'm curious to see, what really happens in Far From Home when we're talking story-wise, like, or how does it affect, Quentin Beck, Mysterio. Obviously, this thing affected everybody. So I'm so curious to see what is going to happen. I can't wait to see some more footage of like the elementals and how Mysterio's powers work. He's a magician. There's a lot of things I want to see and a lot of things I'm very, very excited for when we're talking Spider-Man Far From Home. Especially all Spider-Man suits, the Shield stealth suit, the red and black suit. He's getting some dope ass suits, in this next film. And I wonder if they're gonna go the route of, since Tony's not here anymore, will Nick Fury and Shield be supplying all of his equipment, all of his suits? I kind of want Peter Parker to step out of that reality and start to come into his own and build his own stuff. I feel like that would be extremely important, especially for the character, because he is a scientist. He's a smart kid, and he's capable of doing his own things. He doesn't always rely on people to build him suits and things of that nature. But I'm pretty pumped to see what is coming next week, you guys. I can't wait. Endgame tonight for my fourth time. Cannot wait. Saw it in IMAX yesterday. Going back today with my friends. Fourth time for Endgame. Let's get it. Push comments down below, you guys. Let me know what you guys want to see in the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer number 2. Do you want to see more Quentin Beck Mysterio? Some elementals? Or do you want to see some of the backstory of how the post-snap affected the entire world and how it's going to affect all the people coming back? Push your comments down below, you guys, and thank you for taking time today for watching C-Roll Productions. Peace.